Why most people fail and how you don't. The hard truth most people never accept. Most people fail not because they are stupid, not because they are weak, not because they have no talent. They fail because they never face the truth. The truth is simple. Life does not care about your feelings. Life does not care about your excuses. Life does not care how hard your past was. Every day, life asks you one question: what will you do today? Most people have the wrong answer. They wait, they hope, they complain. They say tomorrow will be better. They say next week they will start. They say one day they will change. That day never comes. This is why most people fail. They live in delay. They live in comfort. They live in fear. And slowly, without noise, their dreams die. You may not notice it at first. Failure is quiet. It does not scream. It does not warn you. It comes little by little. One missed workout, one wasted morning, one excuse, one more hour on the phone, then another, and another. Years pass. Nothing changes. This is how failure looks. It looks normal. It looks safe. It looks comfortable. But inside, something hurts. You feel it at night, when the room is quiet, when no one is watching. You ask yourself, is this all my life will be? Most people feel this pain, but they run from it. They turn on the TV. They scroll their phone. They eat. They sleep. They escape. That is why they fail. Not because life is hard, but because they avoid discomfort. Now listen carefully. You do not fail because you feel fear. Everyone feels fear. You do not fail because you feel tired. Everyone feels tired. You fail when you obey fear. You fail when you obey comfort. This is the difference. People who fail let feelings control actions. People who win let purpose control actions. Most people wake up and ask, how do I feel today? Winners wake up and ask, what must I do today? That small difference changes everything. Look around you. Most people hate their job. Most people are unhappy with their body. Most people feel lost. But very few do something about it. Why? Because change hurts. Change requires effort. Change requires discipline. Change requires patience. And most people want fast results with no pain. They want success without struggle. They want rewards without work. They want confidence without effort. That does not exist. Life has rules. If you do not work, you do not grow. If you do not practice, you do not improve. If you do not suffer a little, you do not become strong. Most people break these rules. Then they blame life. They say the system is unfair. They say they are unlucky. They say others have it easier. Sometimes that is true. Life is not fair. But fairness does not build success. Action does. Discipline does. Consistency does. This is another reason people fail. They look outside. They blame outside. But power is inside. As long as you blame the world, you stay weak. The moment you take responsibility, you become strong. Responsibility is heavy. That is why most people drop it. It is easier to complain than to act. It is easier to explain than to improve. But easy choices create hard lives. Hard choices create easy lives. Most people choose easy. They choose to sleep more. They choose to scroll more. They choose comfort. Then they are shocked when life becomes hard. This is not bad luck. This is cause and effect. Your life today is built by your past choices. Your life tomorrow is built by your choices today. Most people never understand this. They think motivation will save them. They wait to feel ready. Motivation is a feeling.
Feelings change. One day you feel strong, the next day you feel weak. If your life depends on feelings, your life will be unstable. This is why most people start strong and quit fast. They watch a video, they feel inspired, they promise themselves change. 2 days later, nothing. Not because they are bad, but because they rely on emotion. Emotion is not a plan. Emotion is not a system. Winners build systems. They do not ask how they feel. They follow routines. They show up tired. They show up bored. They show up when it is hard. This is how they win. Most people also fear being alone. When you change, people notice. When you grow, people comment. They say you are different. They say you are too serious. They say you work too hard. Most people stop here. They want to belong. They want approval. So they return to old habits. They choose comfort over growth. And slowly they fail again. Growth is lonely. Discipline is lonely. This scares most people. But loneliness is not weakness. It is training. It teaches you self-trust. It teaches you focus. Most people never learn this lesson. They need noise. They need support. They need praise. When it disappears, they quit. Winners are different. They work in silence. They grow without applause. They do not need permission. They do not need understanding. They move anyway. This is why they win. Most people also misunderstand pain. They think pain means stop. They think pain means wrong. Pain often means growth. Your muscles hurt when they grow. Your mind hurts when it learns. Your ego hurts when it changes. Most people run from pain. They avoid the gym. They avoid hard conversations. They avoid responsibility. So they stay the same. Winners listen to pain. They ask, what is this teaching me? Pain points to weakness. Weakness shows where to work. This is powerful, but it is uncomfortable. Most people choose comfort, and comfort slowly destroys potential. Potential unused becomes regret. Regret is heavy. Regret stays. This is why many people feel empty later in life. They did not fail once. They failed slowly. They failed by not trying. Now listen carefully. You are not most people. If you were, you would not be here. You would not be reading this. Something inside you wants more. Something inside you is tired of excuses. That voice matters, but desire is not enough. This is where most people stop again. They feel motivated, they understand the problem, then they do nothing. Understanding without action is useless. Knowledge without discipline changes nothing. If you want a different life, you need different behavior. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Small actions, every day. No drama, no waiting. This is how you do not fail. Not by being perfect, but by being consistent. In the next part, we will talk about the biggest trap, comfort, and how it quietly kills dreams. We will also talk about discipline and how beginners can build it step by step. Comfort is the enemy you don't see. Comfort feels good. That is why it is dangerous. Comfort does not attack you, it invites you. It says, rest a little longer. It says, you deserve a break. It says, tomorrow is fine. Comfort speaks softly. It sounds reasonable. This is why most people never fight it. Comfort looks like safety, but comfort slowly takes your future. Think about this. Nothing strong is built in comfort. Nothing powerful grows in ease. Muscles grow under weight. Skills grow under repetition. Confidence grows under pressure. Comfort removes pressure. That is why comfort creates weakness. Most people live in comfort without knowing it. They wake up and check their phone. They eat without thinking. They work without focus. They rest without effort. Days repeat. Weeks disappear. Years vanish. Comfort steals time. Time is the most valuable thing you have. Once it is gone, it never returns.
Most people trade their time for comfort. They say they are tired. They say life is stressful. So they escape. They escape into screens. They escape into food. They escape into sleep. This feels good now. It feels bad later. Later comes regret. Regret says you wasted your chance. Regret says you knew better. Most people meet regret too late. You do not have to.
But first, you must see comfort clearly. Comfort is not rest. Rest is planned. Comfort is avoidance. Rest helps recovery. Comfort avoids growth. This difference matters. Winners rest with purpose. Losers escape without thought. Comfort keeps you busy, but busy is not productive. You can be busy and still fail. Most people are busy all day, yet nothing important moves forward. They answer messages, they watch videos, they react, but they do not build. Building requires focus. Focus requires silence. Comfort hates silence. Silence forces you to face yourself, your fears, your weaknesses, your excuses. Most people avoid silence. They turn on noise, music, videos, social media. Noise hides truth. Truth is uncomfortable. Truth asks hard questions. Why are you not where you want to be? Why do you delay? Why do you quit? Comfort protects you from these questions. That is why comfort feels safe. But safety without progress becomes a prison. Many people live in invisible prisons. The door is open, but they do not leave, because leaving hurts. Growth hurts. Now let us talk about discipline. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. This sounds strange to beginners. Most people think discipline removes freedom. They think rules are chains. But discipline removes chaos. Chaos steals energy. Chaos creates stress. Chaos wastes time. Discipline creates structure. Structure creates clarity. Clarity creates action. Action creates results. This is how discipline gives freedom. When you have discipline, you decide. When you have no discipline, impulses decide. Impulses are weak leaders. They change every hour. They follow emotion. Discipline does not follow emotion. It follows commitment. Commitment is quiet. It does not scream. It shows up. Most beginners think discipline means extreme effort. This belief stops them. They think they must change everything at once. This is wrong. Discipline starts small, very small. One habit, one action, one promise kept. This is important. If you try to change everything, you will fail. Not because you are weak, but because systems matter. Small actions repeated daily create identity. You do not become disciplined in one day. You become disciplined by doing disciplined actions. This is how identity is built. You do not wait to feel disciplined. You act disciplined. Then the feeling follows. Most people do the opposite. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel strong. They wait forever. Winners act first. Feelings come later.
This is another key difference. Let us talk about routine. Routine is not boring. Routine is powerful. Routine removes decision fatigue. When you decide once, you save energy every day. You do not argue with yourself. You do not negotiate. You simply act. For beginners, this is gold. Here is an example. If you wake up at the same time every day, you build stability. If you train at the same time, you build habit. If you study at the same time, you build progress. Your mind learns patterns. Patterns create momentum. Momentum is stronger than motivation. Most people chase motivation. They ignore momentum. Momentum builds when you do not quit, even when progress feels slow.
This is where comfort attacks again. Comfort says this is pointless. Comfort says nothing is changing. Comfort lies. Change is happening under the surface, like roots under the ground. Roots grow before the tree appears. Most people quit before they see growth. Winners understand delay. They trust the process. Trust is built by showing up. Now let us talk about failure. Most people fear failure. They avoid starting because of it. They say, "What if I fail?" This question sounds smart, but it hides fear. Failure is not the enemy. Avoidance is. Failure teaches. Avoidance weakens. Every skill you admire was built on mistakes. No one succeeds without failing, but many fail without learning. This is the difference. Winners fail forward. Losers fail and stop. Failure should adjust your path, not end it. Most people take failure personally. They say, "I am not good enough." This is wrong thinking. Failure is feedback. It says, "Try again differently." Discipline helps here. With discipline, failure does not break you, it informs you. You adjust, you continue. This is strength. Now let us talk about time. Time does not wait. Time does not care. Every day you do nothing, time moves anyway. Most people live as if time is unlimited. It is not. You do not get your 20s back. You do not get lost years back. This is not to scare you. This is to wake you up. Urgency creates focus, not panic. Focus. Focus says this matters. When everything matters, nothing moves. When one thing matters, progress begins. Most people scatter their energy. They try many things, they finish nothing. Discipline chooses fewer things. It says no often. Saying no protects your future. No to distraction. No to comfort. No to excuses. Every no creates space for a yes. Yes to growth. Yes to effort. Yes to consistency. This is how winners think. Now you see why most people fail. They choose comfort. They avoid pain. They wait for feelings. They fear silence. You will not, because now you see the trap.
Do it for you. Build a future that does not break. At the end of everything, only one thing truly matters: why you do what you do. Most people work for the wrong reasons. They work to be seen. They work to be praised. They work to be approved. This is dangerous. When praise disappears, effort disappears. When attention fades, discipline fades. If your reason lives outside you, your power is weak. Real strength comes from inside. When you do it for you, nothing can take it away. No opinion, no silence, no rejection. This is the foundation of a strong life. Now, think about yourself. Why did you start? Why are you here? Why do you want more? These questions are important. Your reason does not need to be big. It needs to be real. Maybe you are tired of feeling small. Maybe you are tired of regret. Maybe you want to prove something to yourself. That is enough. Your reason belongs to you. You do not need to explain it. Most people lose power because they compare. They look left. They look right. They measure their life against others. This creates pressure. This creates jealousy. This creates doubt. Comparison kills focus. Your path is not their path. Your timing is not their timing. The only comparison that matters is this: are you better than yesterday? If the answer is yes, you are winning. Success is not a race, it is a direction. Many people move fast in the wrong direction. Few move slowly in the right one. Choose direction. Now let us talk about identity.
You do not rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. This is a hard truth. Goals inspire, habits decide. Most people set goals and forget systems. They say, I want success. They do not ask, who must I become? This is why they fail. Change does not start with goals. Change starts with identity. Say this, I am someone who shows up. Then act like it. Identity is built by evidence. Evidence comes from action. Every small action is a vote for the person you are becoming. Wake up early one day, you vote for discipline. Train when tired, you vote for strength. Study when bored, you vote for growth. Votes stack. Over time, identity changes. Most people wait to believe before they act. Winners act until belief follows. This is critical for beginners. Belief is built, not found.
Now let us talk about patience. Patience is rare. That is why it is powerful. Most people quit too early. They do not see results fast enough. They think it is not working. They stop. What they do not see is progress happening quietly. Growth is slow before it is fast. Just like a seed underground. Nothing visible, but life is forming. If you dig it up too early, it dies. Many people dig up their progress. They change plans too often. They quit habits too fast. They never let roots grow. Discipline requires patience. Patience requires trust. Trust is built by consistency. Now let us talk about responsibility again. You are responsible for your life. This is not blame, this is power. When you accept responsibility, you gain control. You stop waiting, you stop hoping, you act. Responsibility says, this is my life. No one else will live it. No one else will fix it. This is not heavy. This is freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to build. Now let us talk about fear one last time. Fear never disappears. If you wait for courage, you will wait forever. Courage comes after action. You act afraid, then fear weakens. Every brave person you admire felt fear. They moved anyway. Fear shrinks when faced. Fear grows when avoided. This is a law. Now let us talk about the future you. That person is watching. Every choice you make today is a message that says, I care, or a message that says, I give up. Your future self depends on you, not tomorrow, today. You do not need to do everything. You need to do something. One small action. Small actions repeated become a strong life. This is how you do not fail. Not by being perfect, but by being honest. Honest about effort. Honest about excuses. When you fail, you learn. When you fall, you stand. This is resilience. Resilience is built, not given. Now listen carefully. You will feel tired. You will feel doubt. You will feel lonely. This is normal. Do not stop. Rest if needed, but do not quit. Quitting solves nothing. Progress solves pain. Every hard day you survive makes you stronger. One day you will look back. You will see the person you were, confused, tired, uncertain. You will smile. Not because it was easy, but because you did not quit. Most people fail because they stop. You will not. Because now you understand. You do not need the world to care. You need discipline. You do not need motivation. You need commitment.
You do not need approval, you need action. Do it for you. Do it when no one watches. Do it when no one claps. That is where strength is built. That is where winners are made. This is your life, your chance, your responsibility. Take it seriously. Show up today, show up tomorrow, and one day, quietly, you will win.
If this video inspired you or helped you learn something new, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Motivation to Study English for 30 minutes every day. Your support is the energy that keeps us creating better and more meaningful videos every single day.